Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Welcome to December 2026. This is your forecast video for you. You have a gorgeous water trine giving you some superior frigging luck. You might even feel, I am so lucky. It's a lucky month for you, but also work pays off and your hard work will bring you great success as well. And you may even find some developments in the work life that are going to surprise you. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lori Lothian and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac. We are definitely using our ancient tools here of whole sign houses. And if you don't know what that's about, you can cast your chart in whole sign houses. Look in my description box below for how to do that. Now, I am only going to share one promotion with you today, and then we're going to move on. Other than I have a new membership section, you might want to join and get some live premieres for members only with me. But other than that, I am now in the process of promoting my 2026 All Signs Bundle Forecast. It is 12 videos and they are 2+ hours each long, guiding you through 2026. And you can buy the whole bundle because then you can listen for Sun, Moon, Rising and share with friends and family. It's a pre-sale price, meaning I'm producing the content in November, delivered to your inbox December 1st. Pre-sale price won't be back again. And it means that if you want to grab it, you want to grab it now. Only the bundle is available for pre-sale. As of December 1st, you can buy individual signs for $33, but why not get the pre-sale bundle for $44? Because then you can share with friends and family. The price will go up to $55 in December for the bundle and then $66 forever and ever after that in January. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Let's get going. Promotion aside, let's start off with the sky. And, let me just say one thing I love about, sort of love about the month of December is that we have less retrogradation. I mean, all of November, 5 retrograde planets. It was a pretty heavy load. And then we only have 2 retrograde planets in the month of December. So you might have felt like November, something wasn't going ahead, like your life felt stuck. You didn't get the traction you wanted, right? Ooh, December stuff starts to move forward. There's a sense of moving in a direction, knowing which way to go, having some clarity. So I'm going to show you that sky because I love, whoops, you don't want to watch my Zoom thing. No. Let's fix that. Now what am I sharing? Yay, that's what I want to share. I want to share how lucky you are. I want to share the flow and the grace that you're going through at this time. So one thing about the month of December is a continuation. I'm going to go break it down week by week of the Jupiter, which is in your sign, trine Saturn blessing. You're under this blessing of this trine energy all of the month of November, and Jupiter was moving direct, and it could have given you greater prosperity, greater wealth, greater success, more luck, more feeling good about yourself. And this is also once every 12 years only that you get this good vibe from Jupiter. So you should be enjoying it. But now it's like 100+ years rare that we have also the tagging up with the North Node to Jupiter. So this is a beautiful time in your life to really ask yourself what it is you wish to do, become and dream into being that is actually in a connection to your purpose and meaning and your dharmic path. This is the time to find that alignment at last, especially with Chiron in your 9th house. You've been trying since 2019 to find purpose and career becoming one. Now, this trine is playing out for the first 5 days of December, Jupiter and Saturn. Discipline, focus, and rigor brings rewards and wealth or happiness or joy. And you may also find yourself with this energy with Jupiter now retrograde as of November the 11th, that you're finding yourself going deeper into your spiritual journey. Maybe you're meditating, maybe you're asking the deep, profound questions about life, and you're taking some time to go inward about that. On the other hand, an opportunity to travel to a place you've been before internationally is likely to be an option for this first 5 days of December, that you're given that opportunity, or that you take that journey. And you may take that journey in a way that has to do with learning or studying, but also just for enjoyment. As we move into, and if you have any legal court cases you're working through, this could also be completing or fulfilling positive outcomes for you at this time. On December 1st to the 3rd, Venus will sextile Pluto. She is very powerfully placed here as the goddess of what we enjoy, what brings us pleasure in the house of work. And even though she's invisible, she's still Venus, and she's under the sun's beam. She wants you to find sustainable pleasure that's in alignment with your soul. Good luck. and that also connects you to service, work, and meaning. And so at this point, you may say something to yourself like, wow, the first 3 days of December, I'm feeling right on target with work that feels pleasurable and profitable and successful, connected to some kind of chunks of money. Pluto in the 8th house, unless you're working as an occultist, which is wonderful. You're doing readings, tarot readings, astrology, numerology, some kind of occult sort of spiritual work. If that's what you're doing, great. You're feeling really powered up and maybe feeling really on target, and you may be even feeling a little bit of wealth coming off of that, wealthing up. But also you could be getting some chunky money coming through the work you're doing. And like meaning like a severance package, sign-on bonus, commission, performance review, Christmas bonus. And also the first 3 days of December could also put you in a position where you are going to have a debt paid off, or someone pays a debt, someone owes you a debt, or you're able to pay off or pay down a debt. And that's another nice touch going on at that time. When we move to December 4th, the full moon occurs in Gemini. It will be at 13 degrees. Let's put that moon in here, right here. And it's coming off of like May, June in the spring, early summer, when we had a new moon here. And you planted some kind of seed, so to speak, of some new beginning in the 11th house. For some of you, this new moon last 6 months ago, coming into fulfillment, could fulfill some kind of work or career shift that you're aiming to create in your life. And it also in its flow, it's opening, fulfillment and growth energy. It does open up the possibility for you of really aligning more deeply with purpose, because it's from the sort of deep depths of your introspective reality, right? Going into your inner life, so to speak, that you can, in solitude, in aloneness, in stillness, in creative alone time even, be able to align with a deeper, more meaningful purpose, as this moon is at the bending of the nodes of fate. I think this moon is also important if you think you might want to consider a trip to a distant land or far offshore. And with the nodes in travel houses, there may be the planning or partaking of that kind of travel coming off the full moon within 2 weeks after, or up to 6 months after, as it unfolds a new narrative. So there's a journey through some change here. Okay. If you're somebody with Venus across the way who wants to make a change of home connected to work, then this is a moon that could fulfill that, but the moon would definitely make your home in a distant shore from where you currently live. Evidence of that, again, shortly after the moon, within 2 to 3 weeks, and even unfolding over the 6 months that follows. On December the 5th and 7th, that little window of time, followed by the 7th to the 9th, right? We're going to have Mercury and Jupiter hooking up in a trine, and then Mercury and Saturn in a trine. But really, it's all one story. It just has more focus on Jupiter to start. So we don't mind Jupiter. He's your guy. And let's get us back to you. Yeah. Let me find out where that ascendant's sitting so I can get this not tripping us all up here. Give me a minute. Oh. Okay, let's just go with the flow here. On December the 5th to the 7th, what'll happen is Jupiter will be in a really positive direction, flowing to Mercury in your 5th house of children, romantic love, pleasure, and lottery wins or speculative gains, and winning through winning money. Now, winning something fortunate. Mercury can be like the ballot, right? At elections, he can be like the ticket you buy. This is not a bad sky, by the way, therefore, between December 5th and by the way, the 9th, to buy a lottery ticket. All right. So just saying, you could win something here, but you might just feel really lucky with your children. You might get it really, one of your children may experience some great luck, particularly in the beginning, the 5th to the 7th. There may be some action going on in your romantic life if you're single, and it may require foreign lands or foreign shores, communications, emails, phone calls, or travel. And because it's a house in which you do entrepreneurial and creative things, artistic, creative, and entrepreneurial, Mercury 5th house matters. You could have a really nice lucky break in all of that creativity with some worldly success that we would say is international. Works well for any of you who are writers and having some really nice perks of writing success in the world of publications or broadcasting success between the 5th and the 9th of the month. And the luck could be for one of your children as well. And this could be the announcement, and it feels very fortunate that you're going to be a grandparent, for example. And when Mercury really hooks up to Saturn in this grand water trine, Saturn wants it to be stable, lasting, and enduring. So any success you have now is going to have those features. If you're a writer looking for a publisher, it's a traditional publishing house, and it may be exemplary of a dream come true. Similarly, if you are looking to succeed in the world of podcasting, especially with videography features, looks like a nice little pickup of success is going on at this time. For entrepreneurial creative types, it looks very positive. All right, we're moving on to Mercury opposite Uranus, which is a surprise. December 10th or so, 11th. Let us move forward and let's move backwards. Okay, days. So if I go up to December the 10th, what you're going to see is that Mercury is going to be opposite Uranus, exactly. So let's just give it the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And what does it mean? It's really the 9th and 10th. There's a surprise, unexpected developments, news, consider about a lover, a romantic partner, or a child, or if you're an entrepreneur or a creative person, a nice little boost in your success in those endeavors, especially if you work online. Uranus here could also be a surprise coming from a sibling one older. Okay. And that sibling one older could deliver a very positive surprise because it's activating the house of good fortune. And it also aligns with matters that may be connected to November 19th. If you go back to November 18th, 19th, similar surprises were coming through with Mercury retrograding on a new moon opposite Uranus in the 5th house. Other surprises may be about fertility and pregnancy, maybe a child, maybe not you. I think also the energy here of Mercury is like if you were going to win money, he would want to deliver it as a shock, right? From the house of windfalls. So if you want to play any kind of game of winning regarding money or something like that, this could be a nice little touch where you're going to find out that you are a winner. And that could be positive, but maybe you won something too, or something similar happened with Mercury retrograde back in November 18th, 19th, 20th. But this could be the final big one, like something big wants to happen. But it is a surprise and it may not come from you. And your child, one of your children particularly, but your children may have a surprise. They're going to deliver a surprise to your doorstep. Well, that's a thought. Okay. We're going to move on from the surprising stuff that happens around December the 9th and 10th. And we're going to talk about December 13th to about the 15th, where Mars squares. Oh, I forgot something for you. Let's back it up. Sorry about that. Back it up. Mars squares Saturn on December 8th, 9th, just before the other surprise. So Mars and Saturn. Okay, so this is like hitting a wall. This is frustration. This is work. This is career, like work, service, job, bosses, employees, employers, and also health, squaring Saturn and the 9th house. This energy will be felt probably like there's something that you want to do connected to work that you find enjoyable, or there's some kind of health measure you want to implement. And Venus is trying to protect your health here. And you bump into some kind of wall, some kind of conflict with a Saturnian 9th house figure, a coach, a guide, a publishing house, a publisher, a mentor, a spiritual figure like a priest or something, or some kind of blockage in travel. Like you have work obligations blocking your travel passion, purpose, desire, excitement, or something like that. If it's about courts and it's about lawsuits and debts and courts and judges and frustration. Okay. I mean, Mars is in Sagittarius, which is the house of his joy, and that gives him a great deal of strength here, but he's coming up against Saturn direct. And so there's something that needs to change around you can't do anything if it's authority figures, but there's a frustration or a blockage here that you're feeling around November 8th and 9th. Then on the 13th to the 15th, the same planet will square Neptune. Neptune is going to turn direct and will no longer be retrograde. And so therefore, it's more likely there's confusion here. There's something going on approximately the 13th, 14th, when this is more exact, where you're going to find you are undergoing taking those rose-colored glasses off, defogging the windshield on some confusion around ninth house matters and sixth house matters, debts, courts, work, pets, could be pets. I don't know. Strange, but it could be health of a pet. A confusion around travel and travel plans or travel opportunities, or, rose-colored glasses. This will work out just so fine. It'll be a wonderful time to travel. And now you're going, oh my God, December 13th to the 15th, forget it. I'm not going to go there. I think I'll just sit home and work. So there's some challenges there for you to consider. I would say that if it's about your health, then you might have institutional challenges, like you can't get the paperwork processed, right? Your claims aren't going through. The institutional bureaucratic mess is frustrating you at that time. With Mars in your sixth house, you could injure yourself, so be careful. It's a house of sickness. He's a god of injury. I've seen it happen to clients and people I know. So that could be all about an injury and a frustration on the health system, and you just plowing through, working it out. He will be leaving Capricorn in December on the 15th. So stay tuned in a minute for that. I want to mention one more thing. Venus herself here is very protective of your health. So if you do have a problem, it's not going to last already. You can count on it like not being an issue. Well, someone's trying to come into my room. We're not having a class. Sky Reader is over. Don't go figure. All right. Now, the second half of December is difficult compared to the first half for everybody. And so we start December 14th to 21 to 21st with a bunch of square energy going on in the sky. And the squares are very demanding. Usually they make us feel like we got sand in our shoe, you know what I mean, or grit in our eyeball. And so let's take a look at this kind of vibe going on. It's going to look like the sun squares Saturn on December 16th, 17th, and the sun right here will be squaring Saturn. As it builds up, it will feel like sometimes authority figures and conflict. But this is a house of work. So the boss or someone above you or more authoritative in the work setting, if you have a job and some kind of contractual problems, maybe with Mercury also joining the fray, some kind of negotiations, contractual problems, work, legal, paperwork, frustration, maybe power struggle, etc. Mercury will be here in the sign of Sagittarius. So that's not always a bad place, but he's a little he doesn't see the details, but he'll be here from December like the 12th to the end of the month. And so this is where, if it comes to matters to do with pets, your health and tests you're getting, or work-related contractual agreements, you need to get someone really keenly looking at the fine print, because you really don't have an ability to see the fine print with Mercury in Sagittarius. The big picture, sure. The fine print, no. And the frustration with the sun squaring Saturn, again, it can definitely be some kind of bureaucratic hot mess, some kind of legal mess, and some kind of conflict or something that demands attention and decisions as fast as possible. And it likely involves money, because the sun rules your earnings and possessions house. So there's this frustration here. It will pass, don't worry, but it's going to show up then. And then really following it fast right after is that the sun squares Neptune, right? It goes a little further on. Again, what kind of confusion and fog bank of uncertainty about a travel situation, a legal situation, a real spiritual and religious situation are you trying to deal up here? And you're trying to see through what's a fog bank and get it right. And the sun shines, right? Just like Mars was cutting through the fog. So maybe you'll be able to see clearly the next step. And then you're going to notice that we end up with Mars moving into the seventh house. And Mars into the seventh house is literally going to end up being a period of time. It's going to go quite a long time where you might find yourself separated from a significant relationship partner, having a lot of trolls coming at you, or maybe even finding yourself, if you're single, you could find it like a very passionate person entering your life, like a new relationship energy, especially if you're looking for a masculine energy. But I just want to keep you abreast of that, because that is Mars moving through your seventh house from December 15th to January 23rd. And in January, he's doing some major changes in your life to do with relationship. We'll touch on that at the end of the video. So the Venus follows suit, right? Mars, Venus, Sun, Venus. Venus now wants to get into the square action, and she's going to hit up your Saturn and say, hey, Saturn, around the 19th or so, it'll be like 19th to the 21st, she gets into a tussle with Saturn. And this is like work is hard or love is hard. Something's hard, something's difficult, it's like an endurance test of some sort. Money is hard connected to legal matters. Health is hard if you're going through bureaucratic red tape. Situations regarding travel feel difficult or gritty in some way, especially if it conflicts with work, and travel and work just won't gel for you. Employees are difficult. Relationships with employees are joyless and hard. Your team is having difficulty if you employ people. And Venus here, she's definitely, as the ruler of your house of career gains and the profits from your career, she's definitely pointing at something you need to pay attention to. And if you wanted to look at this difficulty around rental property agreements and tenancy agreements, this is also where she could say, this is a bit of a gritty time. This is going to feel hard. You have to take some action and make decisions to make it work. So we don't really love the 14th to the 21st, but we do have a new moon on December 19th at 28 degrees, and you can see it's right here. And this is a new beginning that Venus is sitting really tightly connected to Ed Mercury a little bit further away. What does it mean? It means that you want to start a new fresh beginning in either your career profits and how you make money, like a new means of earning, or you might want to create a new beginning connected to where you live. And in this case, it might be more appropriate to say a new rental property, a lease property opportunity, whether you are the tenant or the landlord wants to set itself in motion as a new start. And it can take up to 2 to 3 weeks for you to see what it is. Now, of course, it will unfold over 6 months, as all lunations do. You could also find yourself looking for a new job, new beginnings, for something that you enjoy much more than what you currently do, that heals a chironic wound around purpose and the use of your talents. And so a lot of you may be beginning to see that a new direction in work will be more enjoyable, more sustainable, and more happy, for you. And with Mercury sort of watching it from the sidelines, he does rule your third house. So again, if you're going to change your neighborhood because you're going to lease a property, that could be that. He also rules your 12th house, which could put you into a new position in some company that comes from another country or far off land. It could incite you to find a new type of work or end up with a new job. All right, so then we move to the last part of the month, December 22nd or 23rd, Venus squares Neptune, so poor Neptune getting all the hard energy pointed at him. Venus Neptune square, I think you might be looking at, don't get into a love relationship under this. You don't really see what's real and true, because this can be a dating house. So I'm going to give you a warning for all of you who are dating. This could be where you clearly see this dating opportunity isn't for you, or you don't want to start a dating opportunity with Venus squaring Neptune on the December 22, 23. Stay away from the dating scene at this time. Also, confusion around travel and work matters and uncertainty. All right. On December the 30th, Mercury will square Saturn. He finally catches up and he does the same darn thing. Well, there is some difficult news, some difficult information coming to you at the end of the month, just before New Year's Eve. So this could be some challenging health news, some challenging news about work, challenging news about a pet, challenging news about a employee situation. Now, that's all I can say. I can't tell you what it is. It's a little bit of news coming through. You may not be pleased with it. If you're trying to sign a contract with a book publisher or book publishing deal, then it's just difficult at this time. Something isn't gelling as well as you'd like. There's something that's, needs to be addressed in a very proactive manner. Now, what you're going to notice here, and I think it's pretty cool, is that we end up with the pileup at the end of the month, right? Everybody's hanging in Capricorn. And Venus arrives on the doorstep on December 24th, joining, of course, the Sun and Mars. And Mars arrived there on December 15th. The idea is that these planets, Venus and Mars, are going to join together with the Sun independently. This is a reset button for matters to do with the 7th house, long-term committed love, audience and marketplace, clients and customers, things to do with commitment in relationship. And Mars will have a reset button for you in January to say reset that. And it lasts for 2 years. Venus will do the same thing. It lasts for 9.5 months. Single, Then you're going to reset to find a new love story with someone, some major changes in the nature and the way your current marriage operates. All right. And major changes in the life of your marriage partner. Now, or committed love partner. Now, Venus, when she resets with the sun, will try to spin the energy to your 11th house. So also resetting your relationship to a sibling when older, resetting your relationship to career gains and friendship circles. And she also is the ruler of your 4th house, resetting your home. Some of you may, as a result, in the 10 months that follow January, change your home. And then Mars also will do some resets in your relationship to your children, romantic love, fertility, and he can also help reset for you anything to do with career and purpose and right direction in that. We're going to really dive into that in the January video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Everything about me is in my description box below. My Patreon community, my Substack, where I'm unplugged to the Substack. I tell you everything you need to know for free about world astrology. So go check that out. And don't forget to subscribe to all of my things that I do, including this channel. I really appreciate that. And there's somebody in my waiting room, which is kind of driving me nuts because there's nothing to be waiting for. So I am going to pause the recording and tell her there is no class.